Hello students, today we will discuss the topic non-two-phase locking. So there are two types of non-two-phase locking. First is graph-based protocol and second is timestamp ordering protocol. Now graph-based protocol. In this protocol, we must have a prior knowledge about the order in which the data items will be accessed. Here, the data items are arranged in a tree form. So, the nodes of the tree represent data items to be accessed. If AB is an arc of the tree, then A is called as the parent of B. And if there is a directed path from A to B, then A is called as the ancestor of B. Now there are some rules for graph or tree protocol. First rule is no data item can be accessed unless the transaction locks it. This is very simple. A transaction has to lock the data item before accessing it. Second rule is a data item X can be locked by a transaction T only if T currently holds the lock on the parent of X, unless X is the root of the subtree accessed by T. Third rule is a transaction T, after unlocking a data item, cannot subsequently relock it. This is also very simple. A transaction cannot relock immediately after unlocking a data item. Last rule is transactions can unlock data items any time. Here in two-phase locking we had a restriction that we can unlock the data items in the shrinking phase. But here transactions can unlock data items anytime. So you can see this structure here from D0 to D10 all the nodes are data. So say now three transactions follow a tree protocol on this graph. T1 needs exclusive lock on D0, D1, D4 and D9. T2 needs exclusive lock on D1 and D4 and T3 needs exclusive lock on D3, D7 and D8. Now a schedule of transactions obeying the above locks and using tree protocol are as follows. Now T1 will first lock D0, D1 and D4. Now after that it will unlock D1 as so that T2 can lock the D1 data item again. After unlocking D1, T1 will again lock D9 and then unlock D4 as D4 is needed by transaction T2 also. Here transaction T3 can lock data items and unlock anytime because all these data items are not accessed by T1 and T2. So it is not dependent on the unlocking done by T1 or T2. Now these transactions are not in two phase. This is because the transaction T1 could release a lock on the data item D1 after its processing with it is over, thereby allowing T2 to proceed concurrently. But if we use tree protocol, then lock is released by T1 and T2 and T2 can proceed concurrently as shown. Now, so we have a better concurrency now. And if we draw its precedence graph, then we can find that it does not have a cycle. Hence, the tree or graph protocol ensures serializability. Now, the advantages of tree or graph protocol. First is unlocking may occur earlier in this protocol, so there is shorter waiting time of transactions and hence increased concurrency. And second is This protocol is free from deadlocks and thus no rollbacks are required. The deadlock was a big problem in two-phase locking, but this protocol is free from deadlocks, so no rollbacks are required. But disadvantage of tree protocol is that if there is no prior knowledge of what data items will need to be locked, then in such a case the transactions will have to lock the root of the tree. This also can reduce concurrency. Next type of non-two-phase locking protocol is timestamp ordering protocol. Now, what is timestamp? Timestamp is a unique identifier created by the DBMS to identify the relative starting time of the transaction. Typically, the timestamp values are assigned in order in which the transactions are submitted to the system. So, a timestamp can be thought of as the transaction start time. Whenever a transaction starts, its timestamp is noted. So, therefore, timestamping is a method of concurrency control in which each transaction is assigned a transaction timestamp. Now, to order the transactions, we associate a unique fixed timestamp and it is denoted by this TS. In bracket, we write the name of the transaction. Now, for each transaction TI, the timestamp is an integer or unique value. It is assigned by DBMS before the transaction TI starts its execution. Now, suppose if a transaction TI has been assigned timestamp TS TI and a new transaction TJ enters the system, then the timestamp of TI will be less than TJ. Okay. So now timestamp must have two properties. First is uniqueness and second is monotonicity. Now the uniqueness property assures that no equal timestamp values can exist, and monotonicity assures that timestamp values always increase. The read and write operations of database within the same transaction must have the same timestamp. Timestamping is a concurrency control protocol in which the fundamental goal is to order transactions globally in such a way that older transactions get priority in the event of conflict. So if we use timestamping method, then in case of conflict we can give priority to older transactions. So the timestamp method does not require any locks. Therefore, there are no deadlocks. The timestamp methods do not make the transactions wait to prevent conflicts as in case of locking. As we have seen in two-phase locking, deadlock was a big drawback, but here no locks are required, so there will be no deadlocks. So we have completed two-phase locking. Thank you.